The U.S. Institute of Peace just got demolished.
And no, it wasn't by protesters. It was by the Trump administration.
Nearly everyone has been fired, entire offices are being shut down, and a few senior officials have been kept on just to turn off the lights.
Doge under Trump pulled the trigger. And the message is clear.
Peace building. We're done here.
So, what just happened to the U.S.'s only federally funded peace institution? Who made the call? And what does it mean when America decides to fire peace? Let's break it down. Founded in 1984, the U.S. Institute of Peace, USIP, was created to prevent violent conflicts,
Mediate diplomacy abroad,
train peacemakers, and monitor post-war recovery zones. It was one of those institutions that existed quietly in the background.
No tanks, no fighter jets.
Just white papers, negotiations, and fragile peace deals in war zones from Africa to Asia. Now, it's being ripped apart from the inside. DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, Trump's controversial internal agency, has axed nearly the entire staff at USIP.
Sources say
Regional teams in Iraq, Nigeria, and Southeast Asia were dissolved overnight. Analysts, negotiators, and foreign service veterans were terminated en masse.
a skeleton crew of loyalists has been left behind just to manage shutdown logistics.
And then they're out too.
This wasn't downsizing.
This was a controlled demolition. This didn't come out of nowhere. Earlier this year, Trump cleaned house at the USIP board.
Replaced leadership with allies like Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and a mix of foreign policy realists and nationalists.
Signaled that institutions based on diplomacy were ineffective and outdated. Once the new board was in place, it was only a matter of time before the personnel purge followed. Now, that's exactly what's happened. Doge released a short statement saying, "Federal resources must prioritize direct U.S. interests and mission-aligned outcomes. USIP does not meet that threshold." Translation: peace doesn't serve America's immediate goals, so we're defunding it.
They framed it as a strategic reallocation of funds toward more hard power agencies and objectives.
But critics say this was nothing short of ideological warfare against diplomacy.
In a legal challenge filed by former USIP staff, Judge Beryl Howell ruled that while the firings were heavy-handed, the White House had the legal authority to remove the board,
reassign budget priorities,
and even dissolve key operations.
That's right. Trump didn't break the law. He just rewrote the purpose of peace building in government. The deeper reason? Trump has always believed peace building is too slow. Diplomats are soft. And money spent on mediation could be better spent on deterrence. This is the same logic behind cutting State Department budgets, prioritizing defense over diplomacy, and using economic pressure over negotiated settlement.
The USIP represented everything Trump's doctrine rejected: soft power, multilateralism, and globalist conflict resolution.
So he crushed it.
With USIP gutted, several things happen. Less conflict mediation.
The U.S. just lost its primary tool for quiet diplomacy in war zones. Fewer boots-on-the-ground analysts. Peace specialists often double as local intelligence assets. Now the capability is gone.
No neutral forum for Track 2 diplomacy.
Back channels with Iran, North Korea, or African insurgent groups often went through USIP.
Not anymore. America looks more militarized.
Without civilian peace operations, all that's left is the Pentagon and the CIA. We didn't just shift balance. We burned a bridge. Former staff and foreign policy experts are calling this the end of U.S. soft power. A disaster for long-term global stability. A gift to China, Russia, and every anti-American insurgent group. Even some conservative voices are uneasy. Because love it or hate it, USIP gave the U.S. a tool no drone or sanctions package ever could: credibility as a stabilizer. Now, we look like a hammer with no screwdriver. Technically, USIP still exists. But functionally,
it's over.
The board is stacked. The budget's frozen. The staff is gone. The field offices are closing.
What's left is a zombie institution, a name, a logo, and a few bureaucrats wrapping up operations.
And that might be exactly how this administration wants it. In a world teetering on war,
where Ukraine is burning, Taiwan is watching, and Africa is destabilizing.
The U.S. just fired its peace agency. Not because it failed, but because it no longer aligned with the new vision.
Hard power, realpolitik, and rapid dominance.
The U.S. didn't just gut an institute. It sent a message to the world.
We're not here to mediate.
We're here to win. But here's the real question. Without peace builders, who cleans up after victory? Was shutting down the U.S. Institute of Peace a bold correction or a massive mistake? Can the U.S. afford to rely only on hard power in a world this fragile? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for unfiltered, strategic breakdowns of the geopolitical power plays reshaping the planet.